All right, let's make a picture of hot cocoa. So first we need to make the background, and we are going to make a table for the cocoa to sit on, and to make it more interesting, we're going to add a pattern. And in the background, we're also going to make a pattern. So imagine that you have the table at the bottom and a wall with the pattern behind the table. So that's what you're going to start with, and you can add color with whatever material you have at home. And after you're finished with the background and the table, we're gonna make a separate sheet of paper for the mug. And you need a long, skinny sheet of paper, and you can add whatever type of pattern you want, but you might want to use different colors than you use for the table and the wall behind the table, just so it stands out. Alrighty, time to finish our mugs of hot chocolate. So far guys, we have a paper with the background with a pattern on it, and we have a table with another pattern, and we have a long and skinny sheet that we're gonna use for the coffee mug. And you can see it's basically about the size, a little less than half of just a regular sheet of paper, okay? So part of this we are going to use for the mug, and part we're going to use for the handle. So about this much, so that's the size of my hand. I know you don't know how big that is, but I would say about 4 inches. I'm going to cut off and use for the coffee mug handle, okay? So, and then I'm going to set this little piece aside. And then this I'm going to use for the actual coffee mug. And guys, anytime you're making something that stands up, you almost have to give it little feet to stand on. So I'm gonna curve this like that on one side. That's gonna be the feet on one side, and here's the feet on the other side. And that way when I wrap it around to make it three-dimensional, you can see that we have on the back places for it to glue, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip it around, and everybody, I have this glue, which is just a Elmer's liquid glue because I couldn't find my stick glue, which means I probably need to organize my art supplies, but that's okay. So you can use stick glue, it'll work fine. So when you are using the glue, you are going to kind of curve it the way you want it. Part of it is going to be sitting on the table, and part is going to be sitting on the background. So when it's all done, it'll look like it's just sitting on the table. And anytime you're gluing, we have to be patient, right? So you're gonna hold it in place. You can count to 10, you can sing your favorite song if you want, whatever you want to do, okay? And I'm gonna touch the other side. Make sure it's not wiggling. Okay, I think we're good, guys. Our hot cocoa mug is sticking. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I want a little handle. I don't want it to go off the page though, so I'm gonna kind of think about that when I cut it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the outside shape first, and I'm basically making a backwards C. See? If you want though, there's actually, if you look at mug handles, you're gonna see that there's lots of different shapes. So you don't have to do a C. Okay, so see how this is a backward C? This would be a forward C. Okay, and then I can glue it down. And if I look at it, I'm like, I kind of want it a little smaller than that. Guess what I can do? I can give it a little trim. Okay, I think that will work better for my little hot cocoa mug. Okay, now let's get some glue and put some glue on that mug handle. So just some glue. And then next, and the final step, unless you can think of other creative things you want to add, which I'm pretty sure you probably can. The last tip I'm gonna show you is how to add the steam. So guys, this is a really steaming hot cup of hot cocoa. So I just grabbed a cotton ball and I'm tearing it up a little bit because I want it to look loose and wispy, like steam would coming out of that hot cocoa. So I'm just kind of tearing it gently apart. Sticking to my gluey fingers. Might happen to you too, guys. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna arrange it the way I want it. So I'm gonna kind of think, okay, where do I want my steam to be coming out of my cocoa? Maybe something, get off that finger. Okay, maybe something like this. Maybe a little more. And actually, guys, it turned out I only needed one cotton ball. I didn't know exactly how much I would need. So you just kind of play around with it, and when you're like, okay, I think that looks like steam to me, then what you're gonna do is you're going to draw with your glue where you want it to be. And you can, remember, you can use your stick glue, but I don't have that, so I'm using this liquid glue, which works fine. And then I'm going to basically lay the cotton on top for the steam. Like that. Let's put some more over here. And guys, the cool thing about adding the steam, the fuzzy steam, is it adds some texture to your work. So far this work has patterns and texture, so that's pretty cool. It makes it interesting to look at. Okay. There we go. All right. And let's put a little more steam right there. And after I'm done with this, I want to make sure to let it dry for a little bit. Okay, there we go, guys. There's our hot cup of cocoa with some steam coming out the top. All right, I hope you have fun. Can't wait to see it. Bye, guys. Ta-da! You are finished. You have your steaming hot cup of cocoa. Nice work.